Hello, people. It's Captain Trucker. Welcome back to the channel. Okay, we're here just around the Bacolod area, and we survived an earthquake last night that was just offshore north of Cebu in Bogo City. Okay, some are saying it was a magnitude, what was it, 6.9. Others are saying 6.7. It's kind of varied, but in any event, I felt it, man. I was in bed. I was just reading a book to my son, and he fell asleep. And, yeah, I felt the house started shaking, my mansion here. And I thought, oh my goodness, this is it. This is the end. The earth is going to open up. Lava's going to pour out. There's going to be massive typhoons and mudslides. But then it didn't happen, fortunately. No, I didn't really think that. Actually, I wasn't particularly scared. Well, I really wasn't. But I lived in California a long time. Ironically, I never felt tremors there. But yeah, I did feel this one. And I thought, wow. But what was strange is the shaking was kind of irregular. Like, it wasn't in a consistent rhythm. It seemed to like shake in like different directions, which I thought was weird. But what I thought was amazing is my son didn't even wake up during the earthquake. And there's been like typhoons a couple years ago where like what do you call it? There's like heavy hurricane type of wind, 80, 100 miles per hour. The roof on the adjacent house was coming off. The walls are banging like, God, God, God. It's like, get to the chopper. And everybody's freaking out. And yeah, and this guy here just sleeps through the whole thing with a smile on his face. What's up with that?
I did not hear the storm.
Yeah, I know. See, what we got here is, genetically, they've inherited over time what I call Filipino resilience and toughness. So they don't panic over such things like most people maybe in other parts of the world that don't live in the Pacific Ring of Fire. So there you go. I mean, they weren't concerned at all. Zach, were you worried about the earthquake?
No, I was not.
Okay. Hey, no more than 15 minutes of that brain rot every day, okay? They actually have this program on social media called Brain Rot, and it's just this senseless. Okay, so I've been trying to examine structural damage of the mansion that we live in. I think I may have discovered a crack. Zach, was that crack there before, or did that just show up right now last night? Because we got to try to exploit super chats from the viewers. No, I'm just joking. It's funny, I heard a vlogger, it's like well-known vlogger. He's like, yeah, man, people are going to be trying to use the earthquake now to exploit, donations and sympathy. I'm not going to do that. It's like the typical like con man playbook. Like you build trust with people by, doing one honest thing and then you sit around and rip them off the rest of the year. It's that sort of thing. Oh God, that's funny. That's the sort of thing like you drop a $5 bill and the con man picks it up and he gives it to you to show how generous he is. And then, then later on he basically, steals $5,000 from you. That's how that works. But anyway, I just thought that was funny. So earthquakes are no laughing matter, ladies and gentlemen. They're really not. When I was 12 years old, when my family moved to Southern California, I was fascinated by weather because I lived in Maine, so I've been through a lot of snowstorms and some, floods and stuff like that. So I was always fascinated with the idea of earthquakes. And all the years I lived in California, I swear I never really heard earthquakes. But when we first moved there, we lived by this base that launched like rockets or something, or a military base, I think. So these really loud planes, it made it's like a really loud noise in the sky, like a train almost. And we didn't know what it was. And so I thought maybe it was an earthquake. And so I was all excited as a 12-year-old. I was like, Dad, is that an earthquake? And he's like, shut up, it's not funny. And of course my dad was right, because earthquakes in that.
You said shut up. You said a bad word.
Yeah, sorry about that. I was quoting my father. It's okay. Oh my God, my dad's a great man. He had like, he had like a bunch of kids. He was married to my mom for like 90 years, still is. So he had some stress. But anyway, okay, I'm back, ladies and gentlemen. So I just found this out. There's very serious news, folks. I just found out that there has been a number of fatalities so far in this earthquake. So it's pretty serious business. And I've been trying to have some levity because I don't want like the kids to get scared and everything. But, when the house starts shaking, it is a bit concerning, right? Fortunately, we were okay. But check this out. I got a little bit of information on the latest news as of it's close to 5 p.m. now, October 1st, Philippines time. All right, so the earthquake struck September 30th around 9:59 p.m. Philippines time. It was measured at magnitude 6.9 by both PhilVolx and USGS. The epicenter was located off the coast, northeast of Bogo City in the Cebu province. Okay, so it was very shallow in depth, estimated around 5 kilometers. So that tends to like be worse for the shaken felt on the surface. And there's already been hundreds of aftershocks, and over 600 aftershocks so far have been recorded. And sadly, at least 69 people, there's casualties, have died, and there's over 200 injured so far, okay? Damage is widespread, collapsed houses, damaged churches, bridges, roads, structural failures in hospitals, public buildings, power outages. And there was a tsunami warning advisory briefly, but it was lifted. Sorry. Infrastructure damage, like I said, was a lot of people displaced. Schools have been canceled. So yeah, the damage was severe, I guess, because if the quake is like shallow, that's where it's like dangerous, apparently. But I was always freaked out by more so like the typhoon thing. And I've always kind of wanted to live on the coast, but then I thought about it. And I mean, can you imagine some monstrous wave if you live on a coast, just like coming to wipe you out? Can you imagine that? Like this wall coming after society, just wiping out the barangay? That's crazy, man. You can't really run away from those or like surf. It's pretty bad. Scary stuff, tsunamis, folks. I think it's tsunamis and typhoon. So a typhoon, that's the tropical cyclone that's like typical in the northwest Pacific Ocean, similar to a hurricane, right? So historically, the earthquakes in the Philippines, they're in this thing called the Pacific Ring of Fire, okay? It's this horseshoe-shaped zone around the Pacific Ocean where many of the world's earthquakes and volcanic eruptions occur. So it marks the boundaries of tectonic plates, subdivision zones, and that kind of stuff. Philippines sits along multiple tectonic boundaries, Philippine Sea Plate and the Sunday Plate. It's part of the Philippine Mobile Belt, making it highly seismic, I said that wrong. Seismic, sorry. Anyway, I'm not going to get into that, but I wanted to read really quick some of the history. There's been like some notable earthquakes in the past. One in 2012. The Negros earthquake, magnitude 6.7, 113 people died, over about 112 injured. Triggered landslides, that's the other danger. Landslides, right? Like mudslides, can you imagine? Those are very dangerous, folks. 2017 Leyte earthquake, magnitude 6.5, that was shallow as well. Many aftershocks, 4 people died, 100 injured. Lots of landslides in eastern Visayas and neighboring islands. December 23, the Mindanao earthquake, 7.4 magnitude, struck off Mindanao. Thousands of aftershocks, moderate damage, some casualties, also triggered tsunami alerts and widespread infrastructure impact. In the 1918, 8.3 magnitude, there was one in 1918, triggered a tsunami 7 meters high. Landslides, massive damage in Mindanao. Yeah. Oh my God. The West Valley Fault in Metro Manila. 7.2 magnitude quake could result in tens of thousands of deaths and mass structural collapse. If that kind of quake occurs, this is what they call the big one. This is the West Valley Fault. This hasn't happened, but if it does, they could estimate 33,000 deaths. Many buildings collapsing if that happens. So yeah, the West Valley Fault is a major hazard line, folks. So they say between 1599 and 2020, there's been about 6,158 people that have died in Philippines due to earthquakes. All right. So yeah, natural disasters are kind of nutty, folks. Kind of scary stuff, but it's what the people have dealt with out in this part of the world for generations, and it's always risk and reward for expats. If you thought that some of the thunder. You know, one thing over here that I've noticed too is like the lightning storms, and I've been meaning to look this up. But have you ever noticed the lightning storms out here? Like the sound of the thunder and lightning. It sounds like a shotgun blast, like shattering glass. Like the earth is like it's like pow, pow. And it's the loudest thing I've ever heard. And I'm not sure why that is, but it's kind of a trip. I was going to look that up, but if anybody wants to chime in and comment, go ahead. Anyway, that's all I got. You guys be safe out there. It's Captain Trucker. Share your thoughts and comments. I had to shave and go exercise and starting to drink more water. Try not to get haggard these days. Anyway, you all take care out there, okay? Be good. There might be places you can donate, maybe like a Red Cross, something like that. There's got to be local legit charities. So, anyway, check it out, guys. It's Captain Trucker. You all take care. Bye-bye.